Well, staying with relations on the African continent, former President Thabo Mbeki has urged African leaders to discuss the implications of having foreign military bases in Africa.
Mbeki was speaking at the conclusion of the African Leaders Forum, which is taking place in Boksburg on the East Rand in Johannesburg. Former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete says that the continent is working hard to resolve the Libyan crisis.
Former leaders under one roof to deliberate on the challenges facing the continent. Peace and security, the main issue. The United States and France have a strong military presence in Africa, with China also setting up a military base in Djibouti. These countries enter into Africa through bilateral agreements with African nations. However, former President Thabo Mbeki explained how these military bases impact on Africa's security.
The U.S. has got a military presence in at least 24 African countries. What are they doing there? And in last year, the Senate Armed Forces Committee in the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee received a report from the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM. And AFRICOM said that the African Command, it continues to pursue the objectives of strengthening democratic institutions, spurring economic growth, trade and investment, advancing peace and security, and promoting opportunity and development throughout Africa. Relatively small but wise investments today offer disproportionate benefits to Africa, Europe, and the United States in future, helping to build African institutions capable of protecting their populations, enabling economic prosperity, and expanding the rule of law. Now that's the U.S. military command. It's not military issues, peace and security. They explain themselves, accounting to the U.S. legislature what they are doing on the continent.
The other thorny issue, the conflict in Libya.
These are very powerful countries. You cannot dictate to them. They decide on their own. We always give a lot of, as President Mbeki was saying, on the Libya question, the AU met on the 10th of March. The UN Security Council met on the 17th of March, a week later. But when they just made reference to the resolution of the African Union, continue to do their own thing. So we cannot remain silent. We have got to make our views known. At times when our views are known and are being ignored, and when things don't work out, then that's when at some point they will remember that had we listened, probably we could have taken it.
Somalia, another hot spot.
The prospect of the continent moving towards the right direction of democracy is much, much better than in many times in the past.
The former leaders have agreed to share the resolutions of this forum with the African Union in the hope that the continental body will act.
The past matters and it should be taken into account. I have stuck my neck out, but I don't mind.
Sophie Mukwena, SABC News, Johannesburg.